The Ashram has an app, an Ashram in your pocket for whenever feels like the right time to go from the on-ramp to the highway. We back with another reflection, Daily Vedantic. And this one is, well, let's get straight to the point. 100 years ago, you'd have to trek to the Himalayas, try to find some master, some teacher, take you on as a student, maybe spend a year trying to convince them. If they say, nope, come back, bring them firewood over and over and over again for them to see how qualified you are. 300 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. That's how you'd have to learn this, the royal secret, as is often called, of who you really are. But today, in 2024, you're able to click on a video like this, click on if it's on a podcast player, you can listen to this in the car while you're on a run, in between meetings at work. But all of this is really just meant to be an on-ramp. And this message, today's episode might apply to, Vedanta itself, as I say often, applies to 1 in 10,000 people will have a philosophical inclination towards life. And in those 1 in 10,000 that might click on a video like this, which is honestly actually almost perfectly in line with my YouTube when it was just a business-focused podcast, startup-focused podcast, Silicon Valley kind of startup-focused entrepreneur podcast. Got to about 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then when I switched it over to philosophy, to Vedanta, well, started getting like 20, 30 views. But that is the work. That is beautiful. There's 20 or 30 people that are hearing about this from a voice that maybe they resonate with, that would not exist. I know when I was looking for this, when I was searching for the articulations around this philosophy, it was so difficult to find someone communicating in a modern way that I related to. It was kind of a crutch to need that, but we all need our crutches. And if you're listening to this because the speaker resonates with you, I'll be the first to tell you that is a crutch. Maybe it's 1 in 20 or 30,000 that will find what I'm about to say interesting. So I know that this is not going to be for the every man and every woman out there. But this message for this episode is to call out that this entire project of the Daily Vedantic is just meant to be an on-ramp. Last episode, I talked about the value of reading Vedanta treatise. But this episode, I want to go even deeper and be explicit in saying that these episodes are maybe entertaining at best for you. I am a philosophical jockey. DJs playing other people's songs, I'm just playing other people's hits. Whether they are the sages and saints of Vedanta, or specifically Swami Parthasarathi, our teacher at the ashram, that's who I tell everybody to go check out. Probably starting with reading Vedanta treatise, but the real modern miracle is the fact that on your phone, on your device, right now, or your computer, but you're probably listening to this through a mobile device. You can actually download Vedanta World, the app for the ashram. I can't even believe that's a sentence. The ashram has an app, and they've had it for a few years now. They don't market it very well, but it's a decently well-made app. As someone that has built technology products for 2 decades, I'm quite impressed with the app. And within that app, you can sign up for Swami's lectures, to where you can watch the exact same lectures that students are watching at the ashram, because in the last year or two, he's aged out of being able to give the lectures in person. But luckily, they've got 20 years of videos of his lectures. And the course is a 3-year course at the ashram. So they just take out vintages. I think the current vintage is like 2010 to 2013, that 3-year span, that you can watch the lectures that and tap into this knowledge that 100 years ago, you would have to venture halfway around the world, scale mountains. Quite literally, this isn't hyperbole, scale mountains and maybe wait a year to get access to. It is nothing short of a miracle that now each of us essentially have an ashram in our pocket. For those that are interested in that, I wholeheartedly understand maybe dabbling with an on-ramp like this for a time before checking that out, but it's as easy as downloading Vedanta World in your app store. Or as easy as ordering Vedanta Treatise on Amazon. Even those are quite easy. But I also took a few years of dabbling before I went headlong into the 3-year course. Now I'm wrapping up my third cycle of 3-year course. And I can't wait for the 4th cycle, because this stuff it really requires pile driving these concepts over and over and over again for them to click. And if right now where you are at your level is you enjoy these videos, or you enjoy the longer form podcasts, the conversation that I have with my teacher, Joseph, who's another one of my teachers who has studied under Swami for 26, 27 years, since he was 19. He was my relatable on-ramp, by the way. I needed someone that I related to before I graduated to wanting to go to the real thing. And thank God that he did what he was teaching, the way that he was teaching, where he was teaching, for me to discover Swami's work. But all of this is to say you have this incredible miracle, which is an ashram in your pocket for whenever feels like the right time to go from the on-ramp to the highway. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic, and it might as well be said in every daily reflection in the Daily Vedantic. That's why it will always be in the show notes. The online lectures are. I said last episode that Vedanta Treatise isn't life-changing, it's lives changing. And the online lectures through the app, that's even more so. Even more so. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.